Hi guys, Hara here. Sorry about that. If you did actually hear any of that slight technical difficulties, we did actually lose our co-caster and was just trying to find a replacement, but it doesn't look like it's going to be happening. Anyway, not that I am going to regret having the opportunity to solo cast such an awesome match as this. For those that don't know, this is the quarterfinals of the Fnatic Play Raidcall DotA2 Open number 2, and we are about to see ex-GoSu, who are on a sick winning streak. Oh, Chappie is actually here. Versus xGosu. Wait, sorry. Yeah, I got it. xGosu versus Virtus.Pro in the semifinals here, so it should be a really good matchup. I don't know. I'm actually Azu or someone else can actually maybe talk to the admins about maybe remaking the game all pick and seeing if we can get Chappie in here. But if not, that's fine. I mean, if they just want to play this game out, I will just solo cast it again. It's not that big of a problem. Regardless, either way, we will be casting this game, and you guys get to watch it. So. Virtus.Pro versus xGosu. xGosu, like I was saying, on a rather sick winning spree, likely, have basically been tearing things up. And Virtus.Pro, well, you could say the same thing. They've been on quite a winning spree themselves since they haven't been around for very long. Although neither team really has been, so kind of two up-and-coming teams, although not necessarily up-and-coming because they're all pretty established players. And should be looking forward to a very good game from both of them. Now that Virtus.Pro has actually confirmed all 5 of their players and is an official team. Well, not that they weren't an official team before. So xGosu does have first pick, and we'll have to see what they're trying to get with it. Basically, both of the really imbalanced heroes, at least in my opinion, Fury and Lycan, are already taken out of the pool. And then, oh wait, no, actually I was wrong. For some reason I thought they had a pick, but yeah, Virtus.Pro actually gets the pick. Strange, I guess. Normally I wouldn't expect a team to have Dire and first pick, but I guess first pick is just given randomly rather than given to the Radiant here. Well, must be nice. Anyway, going to ban out the Panda as well, just not really wanting to let him in here. And first pick's probably going to be Leshrac, if I had to guess. No, actually, first pick Brood. That's really surprising. I'm surprised they wouldn't take the Leshrac. So looks like Korok's team, xGosu, whatever you want to call him, is going to actually probably get the Leshrac here. And I don't know. This isn't the first time I've seen a VP game where Brood has been first picked. I still don't feel too strongly about it. I feel like you could grab Brood later on. There's a possibility Brood would be taken, but there's so many counters to Brood that it makes it kind of a risky pick to first pick when there's heroes that are a lot more flexible and equally powerful, like I was saying Leshrac. I mean, even Windrunner, Tide, things like this aren't necessarily on the same level as Leshrac or Brood, I think, but still very powerful and pretty flexible. That I don't really know if Brood is a necessary first pick, but who am I to discount VP? They certainly know the game better than I do, and we'll have to see what they manage to do with this. And it definitely looks like it's thrown xGosu for a little bit of a loop here as they're going into a lot of bonus time to try to consider their 2 picks here. If I had to guess, I would go Leshrac, Sand King. Yep, and that's actually exactly what it's going to be. Obviously, this is a pretty standard duel heroes here. It can basically make a really strong dual lane. Plus, Sand King is a really good counter to Broodmother, basically the most common counter because of Caustic being very strong against the Spiderlings. And so basically what can happen here is they'll put this dual lane, the Leshrac Sand King, against the Brood, in theory with someone in the jungle or a dual lane somewhere else. And then they'll try to kind of pressure the Brood early on. Brood won't really be able to do very much, and Leshrac will be able to take this tower very early. And because Brood is obviously a very strong hero at pushing towers, but not a very strong hero at defending towers. So yeah, they'll try to take that tower very quickly with something maybe like an Enchantress. And then essentially the Leshrac will go around doing damage and pushing other towers, while the Sand King can essentially just stand in that lane for as long as he wants, because he can actually stay solo against the Brood once the Leshrac leaves, which will make it very difficult for the Brood to kind of, farm effectively and push lanes like Brood likes to, with Sand King there constantly countering him, basically equally, if not better, getting better farm, thanks to killing all those Spiderlings as well. So yeah, really strong picks there. Meanwhile, we will have Shadow Demon picked up for VP, just a very strong hero, and I guess they just kind of appreciate the full strength of the Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon, when he first was released, not really getting picked up as much as he is now. People had to kind of remember exactly how strong he was, because he was extremely powerful in Dota 1, high priority banner pick. In Dota 2, he's kind of taken a little bit more time to mature, but getting there nonetheless. And then the Darkseer. Darkseer, once again, one of those extremely strong heroes. Vacuum, just basically a ridiculous ability, and Iron Shell makes it very difficult to push early on. So they might actually end up sending the Darkseer against that dual lane to kind of make them not really be able to do anything. Although I think with the dual stun, it's possible to get a kill on the Darkseer when he only has level 1 Surge. So we'll have to see how they do end up setting that up. Maybe they will just go for the Darkseer jungle, which is something VP likes to do as well. And, yeah, or just send Darkseer mid, you never know. And then the Morphling is actually going to come out from xGosu. Korak was one of the people who really kind of pioneered the resurgence of Morphling. They were doing the dual Morphling a lot with the CM back when they were ex-GoSu in the mid, and kind of Korak just known for playing extremely aggressive on that Morphling. Morphling, a hero that I personally am very opposed to, but that's it's more because of the way that the Morphling is normally played, which is that basically you spend most of your time ricing. And as far as ricing heroes go, I just don't really like the Morphling because pretty sure it's a he. It looks like he has a mean face. Women have happy faces in Dota. He has to spend so much time farming to actually be effective. Like, he's very, very strong very early on because Waveform does a lot of damage, and he can be very aggressive using morph to basically make up for diving by morphing into strength and regaining a lot of health. But at the same time, after about 10 minutes, when Waveform is not really that strong anymore, he really loses his effectiveness, and he needs a lot of items to kind of make that up. Unless you go for kind of a shotgun Morphling build, which can be effective much earlier, but also is a lot more susceptible to magic damage. So we'll have to see what he goes. But anyway, my qualms about Morphling aside, Korak, the way he plays him extremely aggressive early, I actually like quite a bit. So, not necessarily unhappy to see xGosu picking that up here, and we'll have to see where they kind of go with it from here. I mean, like I was saying, they do it like the dual lane Morphling with CM, although you can see that VP knew about that and was happy to ban out the CM with the second class, because it would have been very easy for xGosu to set up the dual lane mid with the dual lane bottom and then to have gotten some sort of a solo for top. But with the CM taken out, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for them to do that. And actually, Line coming out for VP. VP actually has been playing Line a lot, kind of creating a mini resurgence on that hero, just with how many disables he has. He's very good against kind of the current metagame, where you basically need as many disables as possible because every hero has an escape mechanism, like the Sand King or like the Morphling. And also, his ult is just extremely good against the kind of glass cannon heroes that are running around like this, the Leshrac, even against something like Enigma, just to kind of melt those heroes instantaneously in team fights. So we'll have to see if he would be effective in that regard. I think that might be why they're willing to give up the Leshrac, because they're so confident in their ability to counter him with the Lion. Meanwhile, for xGosu here, they're going to have to be looking for some sort of a support to set up with the Morphling at this point, unless they decide to kind of tri-lane him with Sand King and another hero, but then you're still going to need support and then send the Leshrac solo. That's a possibility, but I would still guess they're going to dual lane it, although I don't know. Maybe they'll go for a Dazzle. Dazzle would be kind of good, waveforming and getting the heal, although, I don't know, Dazzle's just not near as strong support as the VS and as the CM, but VS Morphling, it's kind of a mediocre lane because you really want that max range support and the nuking power of the double nuke from CM to make it as effective as it is, whereas VS kind of missing the range. So, I mean, Morphling plus VS combined is more like one ranged hero rather than two. And, so taking some time here. Obviously, the CM ban, I think, throwing them a little bit, and they're not sure exactly what they want to pick up here, whether it be some sort of a sacrifice lane hero, whether it's going to be some sort of a way of setting up the tri-lane. Maybe they'll set up maybe even a Morphling solo if they go for another sort of stun with the VS, Leshrac. And they do end up going for the Tide, so really understanding that they need some more team fight, and that's going to be a lot of team fight for them, actually having Tide, SK, Leshrac, and to counteract kind of the Darkseer solely for Virtus.Pro. Although Virtus.Pro uses Line very effectively in team fights as well, like I said, nuking one hero out of the fight completely in the beginning. And so with Tide, I don't know, Tide very possibly just a sacrifice solo or a safe lane solo at this point, depending on what their last pick is, which I assume is still going to have to be a support, unless they do run that Leshrac in support, which is not something I really like. But anyway, while we have a couple seconds to wait, I'm going to take a drink of water. And I'm back. As far as the Gondar pickup, I don't know. I guess it just kind of shows that VP is happy to kind of take this game semi-late and just willing to trade kills and get that looking for that extra source of gold from the Gondar. Also, once again, his kind of burst damaginess strong against the Leshrac, and track pretty good against escape mechanism. Well, the invis of Sand King. And actually, they do pick up the Enchantress. So I don't know. I guess. We'll have to see how they do decide to set these lanes up. And actually, we do have disconnect, so I guess we are going to get remake all pick. Regardless, we should be getting back into the game soon as everyone connects. Although now, Chappie, you disconnected?
Apparently. Good old Dota 2 crash. I'll be coming back though.
Okay. Well, regardless, I am Hari, and with me for this game will actually be none other than Chappie himself. For those of you who don't know, he hasn't been around a lot lately because he's actually been a little ill, although I have as well. is he is actually the manager of Complexity, who are actually still in this tournament, I believe, right?
Yeah, they're hanging in there. They're against Fnatic RC right now.
Yeah. Fnatic, Complexity, having questionable success lately, basically getting to the finals of the DreamHack qualifier like 3 times and then losing each time.
Enchantress.
Really just got hurt.
You're an ass.
I honestly,
yeah,
I was personally cheering for them when casting the game against VP, even though I was excited to see VP. I had to want Complexity to win just because I felt so bad for them having already got their loss twice before, but unfortunately it just wasn't meant to happen.
Well, you know, as you probably know, I'm probably like one of the biggest criticizers of my own team. So I mean, if we deserved to go, we would have gone. We would have gone. So there it is.
Okay. Well, hopefully what we do deserve is a good game here between ex-GoSu and VP.
Yeah.
What are you looking for in this game?
I'm gonna watch Korok. See, I'm a Korok fanboy of sorts. I mean, not a real bad fanboy, like you know. I can identify. Let's just put it this way: he's probably one of the best North American players, for sure, top 5.
I think. I don't know. I might even say that he is actually the best, which is kind of maybe a little bit of an insult to some other North American players who are obviously very good, like Fear Demon, stuff like that, Bulba, Universe. But I don't know. Korok just amazes me. He really feels like a North American Dendy to me. He plays so aggressively, yet it's a really kind of controlled aggression, and it just he's really exciting to watch. And I was talking about it. I'm not sure if you heard me, but I hate Morphling as a hero. But the only way that I think Morphling is fine is when it's played by Korok, because the way he plays it's kind of just like the right way to do it.
Yeah, I mean I completely agree. My experience with Korok starts back at Han, where my opinion of him was basically top 2 in North America, and I mean, honestly, you know, hate it as much as you want to. If you're good at Han, it typically translates pretty well to Dota, especially since if you're good at Han, chances are you were good at Dota 1 anyways. So, yeah, I mean, and if Korok was top 2, in my opinion, debatably top North American player in my book, then he's obviously a treat for me to watch at the very least. So, we have a disconnect, I just see.
Yeah, we did have a disconnect. They're just trying to get some weird disconnect issue fixed, and then we should be into the game. So anyway, let's. I haven't done this the entire time because I basically am too lazy to ever do this, and I don't really know that it's that important. But yeah, I guess we should do this. And you know what, Chappie? Since you're back, I'm gonna let you do it because I actually like.
Oh, all right.
With your whole.
Yay! All right. Well, let's start with the Radiant, our ex-GoSu team. Painted Gold is gonna be on Sand King. Korok on Morphling, Last Hit Magic on Enchantress, Solara on Tidehunter, and Mikey is going to be on Leshrac. And shout out to Mikey, by the way. Mikey's been ringing for Complexity for the past month. Now he's found a home. Lucky guy. But and for the Dire, our VP, Dread is going to be on Darkseer. Kuroki is going to be on Bounty Hunter.
Kuroki.
I'm so
Come
bad.
On, you got to know how to pronounce that one correctly.
I'm just bad. Period at speaking English, I think he's probably. But Santa, is it Santa? No, it's Santa on Rudma.
You got me on that one.
Yeah.
I was literally facepalmed. I wish you could see the webcam. My expert.
No, I know how to say Santa. All right. Is it now? No, really though, is it Azen or Ozen? Give me a.
That's one I couldn't tell you. I just call him Azen.
Oh, okay. Expert pronunciator. All right. Well, let's go Azen on Lion, and NS on Disconnected. No, NS on...
I know how to pronounce NS. I got that one, no problem.
All right. And NS on Shadow Demon.
And, Brokey throwing out the xGosu. I always love that word.
Right, wait. Dude, can't we see each other's drawings? Oh, we can see each other's pings now, right? Can you ping? Oh, damn it, but I'm not a broadcaster.
You're not a broadcaster? I'm not a broadcaster either. So, yeah, we can't see anything.
No, I got kicked. Azu kicked me out, like a big meanie. I don't know why Azu kicked me out. He's like, get up!
Yeah, well, as you be hating.
Rude.
As you be hating. So anyway, yeah, this game should be pretty awesome. I expect a lot of aggression from both teams. I mean, obviously, VP being predominantly Russian team. I actually don't know Dread. I don't know, where's Azen from? I assume he's Russian as well, but I don't actually know that. I should, and people are probably going to complain at me on the live stream. Yeah, for not knowing actually that player. But I'll be perfectly honest to admit that I don't. But I know that the rest are Russian except for Kuroki, who is actually German.
Right, you got it right. That's correct. They're all Russian except for Kuroki.
And so Asian is Russian as well?
Yes.
Okay. So obviously adhering to the very aggressive Russian style of Dota, and then at the same time, xGosu is known for playing quite aggressive, or ex-GoSu, sorry, is known for playing quite aggressive as well. So we'll have to see basically when two unstoppable forces clash, what exactly will happen.
Yeah. For those of you who are fans of rankings like I am, I guess VP's 5-0. They beat Call, DTS, Epidemic, Jupe, and iPlay. At least 3 notable teams there for sure. Whereas we've got lots of, history on xGosu. Right now they're currently ranked 4th as opposed to 24th for VP. And obviously xGosu, probably top North American team. So it's a pretty loaded match. I mean, we've got North America's pride and joy team against VP, who's obviously a huge team. They beat DTS and Complexity and Epidemic. So I mean, I'm looking forward to this match definitely. I might be rooting for one team over the other, considering VP slayed my team and and XP.
Yeah, that game was I don't know, VP. It's just I mean, they're obviously a new team technically, quote unquote, because I mean they just kind of formed together, but it's obviously a lot of established players. And Kuroki finally finding a home, which is very exciting to see because he's a very fun player to watch. So we'll have to, I don't know. I'm gonna love watching this game. I hope that it goes quite a while. Although I hope that it doesn't go quite a while because we have an infinite pause, but rather goes quite a while because there's a lot of action.
So this is a pretty weird lineup from VP. I mean, I've definitely never seen this exact lineup before, and probably for a good reason. I mean, I don't know. It's a joke in my mumble at least. Russians are like next, or was it you? I don't remember.
It was you. We were joking about this, how the Russians were on the next level metagame, but we were actually kind of joking about it sarcastically. But then it basically ended up being true. So.
Yeah, now they just win everything. But
yeah. They're basically unstoppable. Well, except against Na'Vi. I mean, Na'Vi's only half Russian or 2/5 Russian or something. So I mean, but it doesn't really matter because Na'Vi just crushes anything. So Na'Vi's like you have a strategy and then you play against Na'Vi and it's just like
Yeah, you can't even gauge whether your strategy was sound or not against Na'Vi.
No, exactly.
It's not fair.
Yeah, I mean, so the rest of the Russians are on the next level metagame, but Na'Vi's just like laughing at them, saying, "What metagame?"
Yeah, Na'Vi's god tier metagame.
Yeah,
Na'Vi doesn't actually. Na'Vi is above metagame.
Yeah,
they don't even abide by metagame.
Yeah, people are probably getting upset with us on the stream for this too. Be like, "Oh my god, Na'Vi fanboys!" But honestly, and I am not a Na'Vi fanboy. But how can
Na'Vi fanboy?
I'm not a Na'Vi fanboy. I mean, I just acknowledge how ridiculously good they are. Yeah.
No one hates on Na'Vi.
No.
You know what? No one has hate for Na'Vi. Everyone has respect for how good they are. Whoa, what the hell? What the hell? Are you seeing this?
What?
Okay, never mind. That was a visual glitch on my stream.
What?
Korak, I think he canceled his queue, and it shot out. Yeah, he did again. He's canceling his queue, and I guess he knows about some visual glitch where literally his wave shot out to about the river, when he wasn't on it though.
I didn't see. I'll have to watch.
He's trying to do it, I think. Anyways, that's pretty funny. All right, so how about these lanes? We got like a tri-lane up top, jungle. No, we got a jungle, dual lane.
Yeah, the lane that
the mid line.
It was the one that confused me the most was how they were going to set up the morphling. But I guess they are just going to have the Korok solo morphling and probably Enchantress just coming and harassing with jungle creeps as much as possible. Although I mean, I don't know, morphling has pretty good attack animation, decent damage. The biggest problem he has is just that range against the line. He's going to get harassed pretty well, but he has not that much regen. So I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, I don't know. Unusual picks for sure, but it's going to actually work out pretty well for VP top because they're going to have this Darkseer jungling, and he can jungle certainly faster than the Enchantress is going to. And Kuroki's going to get farmed basically like the Leshrac does, although at the same time, the bottom lane is going to favor xGosu, I think, because having the Leshrac who can move around after they take the quick tower with the Enchantress, while the Sand King can just stay there and basically beat the Brood even after then. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting. A lot of it's really going to come down to this mid, which is an unusual matchup for sure.
Yeah, and the level advantage that Lion's going to be getting is absolutely pivotal against a Korok. I mean, if you can chain disable Korok, it's almost like what you would need against a Quap, for example, or something, as they're going to kind of trade some blows here, and that's definitely going to go in the favor of Korok. But you really need to chain him down before he can start channeling, obviously, strength, so he is basically unkillable. And Korok on Morphling, as we all know, is impressive, so and even your standard Morphlings are hard to kill. So a Korok Morphling is going to be very hard to kill. You're going to really need those levels online as much as you can. We're going to have some harass up top here on Solara. He's going to get the sandwich, but he's pretty tanky.
Yeah, you can't really kill a Tide with those two heroes. They've got no stun, no slow. Well, they have technically a slow, but it's a medium, not really a real slow. So yeah, he's not going to go down. But yeah, I'm surprised by how aggressive Korok is being against this Lion. But he's actually already had to burn through his salve, which is kind of not good. I would guess he's going to go for a bottle since he's solo mid. I mean, bottle on Morphling's not that unusual. It kind of lets you. Serves basically the same function as going for the Perseverance Fast for Lincoln's. But actually, yeah, the gank is going to be coming in, and a little talk coming out from NS. And meanwhile, the Enchantress and Leshrac are rotating mid. So I don't know. Jaffe, take it away.
Oh, well, we're going to have the gank here. There goes the net. This should be extremely easy. And indeed, Korok is going to get first blood. Not much different. Not really any other way that was going to go, for sure. A great creep there. Obviously, which one is that?
Picks up level 2. Yeah, so he's going to actually be able to take this tower. That was really nice. He just barely got level 2 off that last creep there. Second last creep. Yeah, he had the Troll Warlord and the Chieftain, or the Ursa.
Yeah. I'm realizing how hard it is to actually cast when you're not a broadcaster. It's pretty boring. It's pretty annoying. Like, I can't actually click on the minimap.
No, real simple. Okay, so all you do is, alright, hopefully this Darkseer's not going to go in, because if he is, we're going to have to talk about it real quick, and then I'll explain it afterwards. Yeah. Darkseer is going to Iron Shell himself up. He only has 2 levels, so he's not really going to do a whole lot here. Enchantress just enchanting a creep and kind of smacking with it, and looks like they're going to back up. The tower is pretty low, but it's not in deny range, so they can certainly back up. Okay, so all you need to do is basically set your camera to, like, Azu. Go to camera view, click on Azu, and then click on a hero, and then set your camera to free camera while you have the hero selected as Azu's perspective. And then after that, you can click on here. You can basically, it should function like normal.
Wow.
Yep.
And I can change the fog of war to both teams, and now it's fixed.
Yep, exactly.
Oh my! Who figured this out?
Oh, I figured it out myself. Well, I think I read it somewhere, but I mean, I've done this myself. No one told me to do it, at least.
That is incredible. All right.
So now you can go back to being a real caster.
That was like a secret code, like a Nintendo code. Up, down, left, right,
like L1, R1, L1, R1, XX.
Wow.
Anyway, so Korok has picked up his bottle with that first blood, which is going to make it a lot easier for him, and he has a Wraith Band already. So he's got a really easy right clicks, and this is actually really bad for Azen. He ended up going for boots first, and also has gone for stun stats, which is kind of a really old school build on Lion for essentially just this when he was going solo mids. Just for a little bit more right-clicking and survivability, both things he needs against a Morphling. But at the same time, it's really going to put back his chain disable, and so he does end up going Hex now. Only went with 1 point stats. Meanwhile, Brood is actually running through the woods in this here. They do throw down a sentry, but Brood is long gone, so she's not going to get caught. I don't think. No. Saking's nowhere in position. And actually, oh wait, no. Now the Brood picks up an invis, but today, no, the Enchantress isn't anywhere near with another sentry and doesn't have one anyway, so yeah, Brood's going to make it out just fine. Meanwhile, Darkseer is actually coming in mid on the Morphling, but nothing's going to happen with that either. So both of them are just going to back off and continue farming.
Forcing him to use that mana. He does have haste bottles still, though, so that was going to be nothing, but yeah, pretty much. My real concern here that I'm identifying is how aware VP is of utilizing their burst. They're going to have to really focus their burst on Morphling. They only really have, I guess, 2 sources, which is probably enough, I guess, all things considered. You got your Lion and your Bounty Hunter, but I mean, if either one of those...
Meanwhile, actually at the top tower, the Tide is, they're going on the side. Dove past the tower hero. Bounty Hunter is going to get one more right click on him, and that's going to be the end for him. One more right click, the Janata procs, and that's a dead Tide. So they do manage to pick up another kill, or a kill to even the game out. And unfortunately, they can't really turn it into a push on the tower, though, because they don't really have the pushing heroes.
They have the killing heroes, not the pushing heroes. They have big kills. What do we have coming out here? We've got Smoke of Deceit. Are they going to dust up right now? In the magic, in the last hit magic, and Mikey might be dusting up for another gank. We'll see who they go on.
Yeah, they've only got a
do.
Vulture though, which isn't gonna, or
Yeah, it's kinda
Wildkin, which isn't gonna do a whole lot. But I mean, it doesn't really matter with this Enchanter's flow into Leshrac Stone. It should be enough with Morphling. But at the same time, I don't know, the Darkseid's over here, so we'll see how this goes.
Does that spider? No, it doesn't. Okay. Well, I don't know how this is gonna work. They're just gonna have to burst him down, but it is. Well, it's like they know it's coming. Aizen's kind of on the high ground. Do they have a ward somewhere? No, they don't. They just know it's coming somehow.
Yeah,
He's so scared.
Yeah. Well, Russians know what's up, let me tell you.
This is not pack.
Interesting that Brood actually ended up going Boots before finishing the Soul Ring, just kind of for more survivability, but Brood has already gotten level 6, whereas the Tide is actually only level 4, so Brood definitely having an easier time bottom. And actually, yeah, they just take that mid tower down quite easily. Content themselves, if they can't get a hero kill, just take a tower, right?
Yeah.
Sand King actually going on the Brood bottom does stun in, but isn't really going to follow it up. Decided not to ult. The Brood is just going to be a little bit too fast with those early boots and 3 points in web. But yeah, so I mean, this is a slightly unusual style from VP, although not that much. I mean, the fact that, I mean, it's unusual in this metagame to be going for anything but towers, and that's not really exactly what their team is going for. They don't really have heroes that either push towers, other than the Brood, obviously, that either push towers or kind of take towers after kills. Really, and the Bounty Hunter kind of signifies this. What they're looking for is just to basically just get hero kills, and even just to trade kills and just get a gold advantage through that and kind of take it into the late game.
Yeah, actually, we're going to have a bit of action up top here, maybe. Solar's just going to run away. Oh, and a disconnect. That was kind of weird. Up top, I mean, it felt like they could have probably could have gotten a disruption and easily a kill after that, but whatever. A little bit of lack of communication potentially. I'm not sure, but either way, we have another disconnect and a pause. So have fun with that one.
Yeah, Kuroki actually only leveling Janata and Shadow Walker. I mean, this is pretty standard, although usually you would expect to see 2 points in Shuriken Toss, because the first 2 levels actually scale pretty well and give you a nice 200 damage, or at least 1 point to, break channels, mini-stun, whatever. But it's actually opted just for Janata. And, I mean, this worked well, I guess, in him with the lane, actually the Shadow Demon just taking a lot of damage there, because they could, just spam the disruption and then go hit with Janata combo. And it looks like they actually are going to pressure this tower quite a bit here. With the catapult hitting it, Kuroki's going to try to take it. Tide, we'll see if he tries to come up for a deny here. Doesn't know. Actually, most of his, the other team has gone bottom. Painted Gold actually stunning in and gets the epicenter off, but Darkseer quickly enough surges himself out. Didn't actually have the vacuum to cancel this.
Lesh goes down.
Yeah, I didn't see Brood, I guess, taking on Lesh, and Brood actually still going. Is going to get ensnared, but she's probably just going to keep running. Doesn't have the Soul Ring up, but we'll have mana in 3 seconds. But gets back to full health.
Oh, and the sun comes out. Nicely done. There is ult up. One more hit. He does actually go invis, but he's going to go down either way. So nice attempt there. But and there's that level 6 on Lion already coming to fruition. Actually, Korok is from the back. Going to try and make some magic happen here. He's going to try his hardest to get a kill here. He's bottling up, though. It's going to be actually pretty hard to get a kill here on Aizen. Trying to get some help here from Mikey. Mikey's on the run as well. Korok, 6 seconds left. Now they're going to try and get a kill here on Santa. That's going to be more than enough. And Aizen's going to get away. Good for Aizen.
Yeah. And meanwhile, a Vanguard picked up on the Gondar. That's quite unusual, but I mean, it really fits with their style of being aggressive. I mean, how is it? What easier way to dive a tower than to buy a Vanguard? Oh, and
oh my God, ult used.
The Sand King actually going to come in, but they're still not going to be able to get the kill. So,
well, I guess he doesn't like his ult.
Yeah,
he doesn't like mana.
I don't know. That was, if the Sand King had his ult, that would have made sense there, but he didn't, so I don't understand that at all.
Oh well. Usually it's not too huge of a deal to blow an ult like that 8 minutes in. I mean, there's really not a whole lot of team fights going on. It's more forgivable now than ever, really. But would have been nice to see a kill there on Kuroki if you're going to blow as big of an ult as Tide's right there. Now he's just going to lay some harass out on... Like, he's pretty much unkillable, not really. Kuroki's just going to be able to farm now at will. He has 2 more people joining him. They're, I believe, smoked up? Yeah, they are smoked up. Let's see who they choose to go on. Now there's no ult on Solara, so they actually might easily be able to get a kill here on Solara. Painted Gold might be okay. They're going to actually dust. Kuroki might go down before his teammates arrive. He's running towards his teammates as hard as he can. Nice. He's actually going to only land 1 stun. Painted Gold is going to try and line up a stun here as soon as he can. He's actually going to land it on Aizen. Reinforcements do alive. Dread is in, and he has Iron Shell going. Painted Gold going to go invis. He's going to go down just like that, though. Aizen is now on the right click on Solara as well. The stun comes out, and that is going to be 2 down there for ex-GoSu. Nice response there from VP. Very, very fast responses.
Yeah, just imagine if Tide had his ult there, how different that fight would have been. That would have been disastrous. Yeah, I mean, obviously, though, VP is smarter than that. If Tide had the ult, they wouldn't have been, diving like that, going like that. So, but still, just kind of the small things in Dota add up quite a bit. Meanwhile, putting a lot of pressure on this tower. Brood probably needs to bring her Spiderlings up here to tank this Edict damage, but it just isn't in position to do it anyway. So I think the tower's most definitely going to go down. There's going to be a TP in, but I'm sure they're going to go for trying to get the tower kill. Oh, wow, nice deny by the Brood Spiderlings. Really nice play there.
But that wasn't even, that was just a misplay, period, because Last Hit Magic actually stomped did you see that? Last Hit Magic had to creep right under the
Spider with the Centaur.
And stunned them all, but then just walked away,
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Yeah. Well, let's see, I bet the gold graph is nowhere. The gold graph is neutral, basically. Never mind.
Just like we would hope for in a game like this.
Yeah, true. Semifinal.
A close game between two teams.
Or is it a quarterfinal? Never mind.
Yeah, it is a quarterfinal. Although, I don't know. I feel like, to be perfectly honest, these might be the two best teams in the tournament.
Yeah, it's possible.
PLG as well, and I mean, certainly a few more that I wouldn't want to discount, but I feel like this is almost like a final. It's going to be pretty exciting either way. But yeah, so gold graph basically even, but no, slight advantage for the Radiant, but I really feel like that's actually in Brood's another disconnect, so Steam really raping him. And I'm just using the terminology that they said earlier.
Okay. Sorry, that's just funny for some reason.
Yeah. I know some people don't like that word being used that way, but whatever. Anyway, I feel like the kind of the situation it's in though really favors the Dire a little bit more, just because this is basically what they want to do. I mean, they're already down towers, and they kind of had to know that was going to happen because they don't have really pushing enough to take towers other than the Brood. So I mean, if they knew that was going to happen, they really just want to trade kills, and that's basically what they've been doing. I mean, they've kind of just been trading kills. They've got 5-2, and they're just going to keep milking that Gondar bounty to get as much gold as possible, even if they're not taking towers.
I wonder how many people hate it when we say Gondar or, because no one who's ever played Dota 1 has any idea who Gondar is at all.
Yeah. That's a fair point. So I guess for those who don't know, Gondar is Bounty Hunter. It's just tough with some of those, to switch to the Bounty Hunter name. And so Gondar is Bounty Hunter. Are there any others that we don't call by the right name in this game? I don't think.
No, I'm not sure about this game. I don't know.
Like Rasta.
Yeah, everyone calls him Rasta. And DP, a lot of people in game in the pubs that I play, they call him by his name, which is Krob, I think.
Yeah,
Krob. I was like Krob, and I'm teaching a friend. He's like, "Who's Krob?" I'm like, "You're Krob."
Anyway, Brood is actually taking the Ancients now. It's going for actually Orchid. Actually, there's going to be action mid.
Yeah, it's going to be SDs. Why doesn't he disrupt himself? Unfortunately, he goes down unless he just uses it. But Korok might pay for it with himself. He's actually going to try and ult away. Not going to be enough, unfortunately. He pays for it with his life. Not worth it at all. Painted Gold now in a little bit of trouble. Ult comes up right now. Oh, he's going to stun. And Epicenter nicely done. Let's see if he can make anything happen from this Korok. He's going to actually lay out the ult. Now Painted Gold cannot go in this. Now it's a matter of who's going to go down first. Korok, it looks like he's going to be him. The ult does come out, and it looks like they are actually going to get that Korok buying back and taking the kill.
Yeah, that buyback. I mean, I guess buybacks are pretty cheap still at this point in the game, but I mean, that kill probably would have come out anyway. Although I guess Vanguard is cheap.
Caught by Mikey in the jungle here. His surge is off cooldown in 1 second. Nice play there by Mikey. Nice map awareness as well. Not only that, they're going to get a tower, 2 down in a tower, and this is the exact momentum shift that they needed.
Yeah, this is how they turn it. I mean, this is the difference kind of between the two teams is that there's a lot more room for error for the Radiant than there is for the Dire. Because the Dire, like I said, just kind of want to trade kills and extend the game and get a gold advantage that way. Whereas the Radiant want to, get kills and take towers afterwards with the Leshrac and kind of turn that into a mid to late game gold advantage, which is kind of giving them more of an insurmountable lead with the Morphling or something like that. So when the Dire get a couple kills, it just kind of gives them a slightly more marginal advantage. When the Radiant gets kills, it's significant more of an advantage like this because they take a tower and get the kills, which really shoots the gold graph up in their favor. So the Dire really have to be quite careful in regards to this because a few more fights like that could actually make it really difficult for them to get back into this game.
Yeah, and 2100 I think was just spent by Korok. I imagine. Yeah, there is. He's working towards. He has an ultimate ward. He's going to be very hard to kill, honestly. With why am I blanking? Why am I blanking?
With Lincolns.
Okay. This is pissing me off. I almost call it like millstone or something, which is definitely not correct.
we don't do that. Anyway, yeah, I have to wonder. I mean, Korok is one of the bigger proponents of going the shotgun build, which obviously fits his aggressive playstyle. Actually, speaking of him being aggressive, he's running in here on 3 heroes. He's just he's Korok on Morphling. They're actually the ones backing up. Although they're thinking twice about it now when they realize he's actually by himself. Like, wait a second, he was actually just diving us by himself. Okay, we can go back in now. But the Lushrak is going to come in after having finished the top tower, and they are maybe going to push the Dire back here. Dire really needs to take this tier tower mid. Oh.
I heard something, but that was
I
heard a hex.
No hex.
He did hex. What did he hex? He hexed something.
I don't know. He hexed something, but anyway.
Structures are fortified.
Oh no! Tornado.
The glyph comes up though, and with the tornado, this is going to push them back. Korok with the haste though isn't done yet, and they've got to be careful how they split against haste Morphling here. But looks like they're not going to go for it, and they are going to be able to back off just fine. But yeah, so I was going to say, he likes the shotgun Morphling quite a bit, which, for those that don't know, is getting Ethereal Blade on Morphling after Lincoln's. But at the same time, that's pretty risky against a Lion, Shadow Demon. A lot of magic damage coming out from those two heroes. So, I don't know, we'll have to see if he decides to go for that, or if he ends up just going the more standard, and if I may say so myself, more boring Lincoln's Manta build.
Yeah. Well, it can't be that boring as Korok. But alright, we're going to have a go here. Ult should be coming out here soon. Let's see if he's going to... No, he's not. He's actually just going to get... turn it around here. See if anything's going to happen to Solar. Probably not. Nope. Nope. They're just going to get away. A good deal of damage actually laying out there. I'm happy to see Solara didn't blow his ult there unnecessarily. So at least that didn't happen. Go Solara.
Meanwhile, though, Brood is actually putting a lot of pressure on this bottom tower. He's kind of baiting the Sand King in there, actually, but the Brood just keeps taking the tower damage.
Lion's coming in.
Brood needs to realize he's actually still in tower range, and I assume they have a dust. Is there a dust? No, there isn't. Actually, Lion just destroying the Sand King. Lion's going to be in a lot of trouble himself, though. Probably going to go down. One more impetus, and it is going to fly out, and actually the Tide does manage to blast it, smashing Lion's face with an anchor. And that's going to be a one trade.
Painful. That looks painful.
Yeah. Oh, meanwhile, though, actually, wow, really nice play there from the Shadow Demon. Got caught by Mikey in the river, but Mikey actually didn't manage to get the Edict off in time, and Shadow Demon disruptioned him and then immediately TP'd out.
Nice. Nice play.
And actually, no, Santa going aggressive on the Tide bottom. Spawn's battling charge is going to be up, but he needed one more right click. Unfortunately, oh, wow, are they going to turn this around on him? Actually, they are really great turnaround there. Good sentry placed down by the Enchantress, using Nature's Attendance to heal the Tide up, and Tide just a little bit too tanky. Really smart play there, turning around on that Broodmother. Broodmother just needed one more right click, but unfortunately her webs wore off, and she wasn't able to get it before throwing out the Spawn Spiderlings. Meanwhile, though, Kuroki going really aggressive in Korok here. Bant Gold does come in, but actually just barely misses and with the stun, and actually his ult is going to be completely wasted, and Kuroki is just going to back off now. Kuroki actually going Vlad. I really do like this, though, because it kind of just allows him to sit in the jungle farming while he waits to kill people. And obviously it's going to help with messages, etc. Yeah.
Kuroki not feeling very threatened at all, since he has, obviously, being Kuroki, checking inventories, realizes there's no true sight up top. He's more than capable of just stalking this guy. Probably going to right-click him there, get 225 damage on. Going to force a stun here, no doubt. Or an invis. Actually, an invis is not going to help. He's going to need friends in watery places. Look at him, he's just stalking his prey here. And there's the stun. Now the stun's used, though. He's still going to mess with this guy. And now he's actually getting sandwiched. Aizen's coming from the right as well. He's forced to go left now. He's still can't do anything but stun away here. He might actually go down here. Shuriken actually is only level 1, so that doesn't matter here. Nicely done. Wow. Kuroki totally understanding his hero, and apparently Painted Gold not understanding the threat that is Kuroki.
Top tower has fallen.
Yep. Meanwhile, Korok, though, putting a lot of pressure on Az in top, but then just going back out with his ult. That's what's amazing about Korok. He always knows exactly how far to extend. Problem is that they actually spend a lot of time top worrying about that bounty hunter harassing down the Sand King, and meanwhile, Santa is actually just going to take a free tower bottom, which is basically what he's been waiting to do for the last 15 minutes of the game or so. And that's going to get him a lot closer to getting his Orchid, actually, which... it's going to be a pretty big item for him. It's going to make it a lot more difficult for Korok to escape, and obviously being able to throw the Orchid up on Tide and then not focus the Tide in a team fight can really delay the Tide ult to an inopportune time.
Yeah, let me see what kind of items we got going on here. We got Painted Gold working towards a Vanguard.
Oh, Asmon's actually about to have his blink up after, basically these creeps. He has enough money for his blink now. Actually going for phase boots as well as blink, which is unusual. When I've seen them playing line before, usually they're going with treads blink, not phase boots. But I guess here he just really wanted an extra movement speed, mobility. I assume this is going to be blink now, although maybe not.
Well, I know who is getting a blink instead of Vanguard. Actually, Painted Gold is really close to blink. He's gonna actually stop off at that blink, and either completely forego the Vanguard or maybe we'll save it and maybe save it for a heart. We'll see. But either way, he has blink now. They're actually doing some counter warding. XG.
A gem up on the side actually for the counter warding. Sick of this Kuroki plus. I mean, 2 Invis heroes on the other team. Gem is a pretty obvious choice.
Yeah, it's a matter of time. Kuroki's gonna go ahead and grab that DD in the bottle as well. Actually, this is gonna be pretty scary. This sounds familiar. Actually, I'm not sure if you watched the fight. My team just lost to xG or Korak basically on Tiny. He had a DD on Tiny. He apparently like crit cleaved the entire team or something. This looks a little bit familiar here. We're gonna see if this DD makes or breaks this game. It's gonna be a huge momentum shift
on the hill though and separate the team. Oh no, actually he's just
maybe not
the vacuum into a wall inside of Roche, and this is gonna be a really bad place for xGosu.
Oh, nice. Wow, that is a huge. They're still gonna get it. They need to go in here. Radiant does end up getting it. Who gets?
It was destroyed actually, I think, by Santa.
Wow, I mean, really, that was good all in all. Okay, never mind. I was about to say that could have gone better, but nope, everyone's dead. It actually could have gone better, though, for VP. VP did get a complete team wipe, but they actually could have done it before Rosh was even killed. They could have gotten a complete team wipe and then killed Rosh and then got Aegis as well. But either way, I think there's no debating who came out on top of that one. Like I said, the only bad thing, XG did actually end up getting the Roshan kill, which is a lot of gold. But either way, they come out on top.
Yeah. And the gem was actually in there, but I think they just picked it up with the courier. I tapped out for a second to check the stream. Yeah, they do have the gem on the courier now, so lost that as well. I don't know. That was just a really questionable play by ex-GoSu there, going in for the Roche, even though they were scouted by the Spiderling. Obviously, Santa doing a really good job using one of those Spiderlings to scout while he was creeping with the rest of them. And I don't know, it cost them dearly. Now, Santa does have his Orchid up, and he's going to be working towards his BKB. And I don't know. Yeah, losing that, I mean, it was perfect play by him, coming in and sniping that Tide with the Spawn Spiderlings. That was what turned the fight around, or well, completely didn't turn the fight around. It was 5-0, it wasn't much turning. But was what made the fight basically unwinnable for the Radiant, was losing that Tide before the fight even started. Speaking of items, there's one more thing I want to say. Actually, no drums yet on Kuroki, which is a little unusual. Typically, we would see drums on Bounty Hunter. I think it's one of the more standard items, and I think it's such a great pickup on him, giving that extra movement speed, or along with what you get from track. Basically makes it so easy to chase heroes down, and I'm kind of surprised that he didn't opt to go for that. Another really cheap item to get, but I guess he kind of went a couple cheap-ish items, so he wants to actually go into a big item now. Santa actually going on the Sand King down here does have the gem, so Sand King's not going to be able to just sandstorm there, but Santa's going to be in a bit of trouble now here. Is there actually detection? Yeah, there's a counter ward actually up on the hill there. I know that's a dire counter ward. Where's the detection actually? Do they have another gem, or no? Is that no? Where?
Somebody has it.
Oh yeah, there's a gem on the Tide again. Actually, no, that one was just. What was their vision originally? Maybe he just didn't actually go invis, or was he dusted? I can't.
I don't even know, but all I know is that Korak has a Scotty.
Yeah, I just saw that. Speaking of, this was brought up I think in a cast with Aussie. What do you think of that Scotty icon though?
That is, I was gonna mention that.
With the white background.
I don't know why it's white. I don't know. It looks cool, but okay. So I guess what is cool. Scotty? I want to know the background now. Like, it's an eye of who's Scotty? Obviously, some white-looking beast. I don't know. I need some lore. Anyways, and it's gonna go down here easily to Korak. With that Scotty, nobody's getting away. Nobody's getting away easily here. Whoa, Korak. Wait, what? Korak's not even there. Never mind. Holy crap! Did he leave?
Yeah, he just left. Yeah, he decided he couldn't get it. Meanwhile, they're going to go on Kuroki here. They do have the gem now, so Kuroki's actually made a lot of trouble. Tide actually using the old Darkseer, try surging Kuroki out, but Kuroki is already dead. So Darkseer is just going to have to TP out himself, and the Adaptive Strike is not going to come up in time, so Darkseer is going to make it out no problem.
He is being very liberal with his Tide ult, isn't he? But better to get it off than die having it like he did at Raj. That was unfortunate. I'm still not gonna let that go. Like, as soon as Tide goes down, in my opinion, it's like go now. Yeah. That ult's huge, and if he's dead, then I don't know. The real problem is it seems like there's not a whole lot of team fight in general on VP. And there's really not. Let's be honest. There's not a whole lot of team fight. That you've got the ult there from Darkseer. That's always you can't question how useful that is in a team fight. But aside from that, you've just got a whole lot of single target stuff. To be completely honest, you got some shadow poison. That's about it if you can land that on people. But that's not always reliable. So that is definitely the weakness that VP has to work with. They are not the strongest in team fight, whereas xG has a ton of AoE and teamfight capabilities, but we're not going to have an ult here for 80 seconds here on Solara, so we'll see what they can do. Obviously, VP knows this. They're all up. They're at 5, but look at they're just so bad at teamfights in general. We're going to have a Blink Stun missing everything. Unfortunately, now Pinnacle gets ulted as well. He's actually not really invis. We have a BKB pop from Azen. He's going to go in unabated as well. They're going to get 1 kill for none. Now they're going to continue on last hit magic. Maybe. No, they're not. Pipe is up as well. Wow, great teamwork and coordination as far as items even goes. Korok's on the run as well, and that should be it. Actually, Les went down as well. I didn't even notice action. Now here it goes. Last hit Magic's going to get stunned away from that TP as well, and he's going to go down as well. So 3 for none. Kind of an interesting idea to push like that. They didn't really have that big of an advantage. I guess really the biggest problem is that the initiation there from Sand King kind of missed everything, and that just set them up for failure.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess they just realized what you realized, which is that the Dire just doesn't really have any team fight, so they thought, oh, and actually Kuroky doing something really questionable here. Does he have an ult up somewhere? He actually does not have an ult anywhere, so he's actually just going to die here. There's no way he's getting out of this. I don't really know what he was doing there. I guess he didn't realize the potential danger he was in. But they had a ward. No, they didn't have a ward actually in the spot that they just came from. So yeah, just throwing himself away needlessly there. But yeah, I was saying I think they just realized what you did, which is that the Dire didn't have much team fight, so they thought they could just go force a tower anyway instead of getting picked off, which is what the Dire specialize in. Like the Dire want you to be spread out, to chase after the Brood while he pushes, to let the oh, and actually Sand King going to come in here with a big epicenter, but not really going to hit anyone actually. DKB actually up on the Lion. Lion standing in there tanking a lot of damage. Meanwhile, though, the Brood is actually going to get caught with the Tide ult. Sand King just barely still alive, actually doesn't manage to stun into the Darkseer, picking off the Darkseer, and meanwhile, the Leshrac is able to finish off the Shadow Demon, so getting a 3 for 0 off of the back of a great Tide ult. Really nice play there by ex-GoSu. Sand King just barely escaping with his life. Yeah,
that entire team fight was just AoE. The whole reason that worked was AoE. I mean, again, Sand King didn't actually land his stun, but it didn't matter. He did a decent amount of damage with his ult, and then furthermore with his Sandstorm, actually, he did a good amount of damage. Obviously, Lesh's AoE, and then Tide's ult was more than enough to just outright out-DPS the entire team, and now after that, they're going to get potentially a tower here. We'll see. It depends on if they force... no, they can't force buybacks. There's no buybacks to be had, so they're just going to get this tower here. We'll see if they can actually turn this into a Rax as well. Ult did come out from Dread. Unfortunately, it didn't really do all that much except everything it needed to. Repel the push, I guess. Yeah, but either way, let's see how this game looks right now. So after that, it's still actually a really close game. Difference in goal, only about 2K difference. So almost non-existent. The experience is definitely in the favor of the Dire, but that doesn't actually amount to a whole lot. You do have probably the better late game on Korok, assuming he doesn't throw. Again, he can't be down like that anymore. He opted to go for more offensive, obviously, for Ive Scatty. So it's easier to kill him. He needs to be aware of that and not be caught out like that as much. Or at least, like you said, at least have his ult out somewhere.
Check out this aggressive move into the jungle, though. Actually, they're going to find the Tide. The Surge is going to be up in 1 second, but they're actually not going to catch him. So, I mean, it was a really smart move. They moved so fast into the Radiant jungle, they're knowing exactly where the Radiant would go, but the timing was just slightly off, and weren't able to catch the Tide. Sorry, finish what you were saying?
No, I was just saying that I definitely don't think XG wants to have Korok get caught out like that anymore. He is all by himself, and he doesn't have an ult anywhere. He's just going to have to TP out somewhere. But anyways, he's completely safe right for the time being. There's no threat of that. There's no more outer towers whatsoever for VP. They actually have 2 towers left in the entire... Well, two Rax towers and obviously 2 throne towers left. The goal difference is going to be definitely in the favor of VP if they can equalize on these towers. But like you've said pretty much the entire game, they're not that strong at pushing. They have to kind of go for a pick at least and then push. And the good thing is that they're at least trying to do that. So it's kind of like they at least know how they need to be playing, and they are playing it that way. They're just kind of getting unlucky.
Yep. You were saying earlier that actually that push couldn't force 5x, but actually the Darkseer had bought back to defend the push. Yeah, so I mean, it was because of him. Yeah, yep. And actually, Butterfly picked up on the Gondar, which is going to be a big item. Going to make it a lot harder for the Morphling to keep him slowed. Actually, a smoke gang coming here, and actually they're gonna get revealed out by the Gondar invis. Thanking actually blinking and burrow striking does hit the Gondar. Really nice play from the Thanking there. It's actually going to take down Gondar. Gondar tries to TP out, but he's going to go down. Just barely not making it in time. Really fortunate for the Gondar there to reveal them off with the smoke coming for the Brood, but actually it kind of turned out poorly. Actually, if they had gone and got the Brood, there's a chance the Brood could have just BKB TP'd, but Gondar was not.
Korok, big play by himself, trying to do what he can, trying to go 1v2 here, but and he's got a backup here. Painted Gold has arrived. Now Dread's going to go down here for sure, unless he can surge himself to safety. Up in the... Oh, why did he wait so long to use that? I feel like he could have got that off like 1 second earlier, and then maybe it wouldn't have mattered to actually surge. Would have lasted too long, well into the base. But, well, that was good. At least they distracted XG long enough away from Rosh. Now they're going to force them into the base. Is there an ult here on Darkseer? Ult is up on Darkseer. He's got to get out there and throw that up there. Pipe has been popped already on XG. Ult is available and ready on Tide. Not on Painted Gold. Ult comes out there. Nice done back. Everyone in. Bounty Hunter buys back. Nicely done. Aizen up. Ult down. Thanking before he can do anything, but Thanking did not have an ult either way. Now Mikey goes down actually easily to that Gondar minus armor. Nicely done. Last hit magic next on the hit list. He's going to be running away. Nice defense again. 2 go down. They're holding off this onslaught. Now actually the creeps are going to do a little bit of damage to those racks, but nothing that's going to really amount to anything. They're going to continue on this chase. They've got both of them, although that is an illusion.
Meanwhile, though, Brood is actually getting chased bottom as well. Managed to take down the tower, but the Morphling and the Tide actually TP'd down there. Managed actually to pick him off. He kind of misplayed a little bit, like he ran around for a little bit, didn't anticipate how much damage they could deal, and then tried to BKB TP, canceled it actually, and then just kept running and that as well.
Well, regardless, I mean, that's definitely a favorable outcome in any regard for VP. They defended their mid once again, and they got a tower. And they defended it, by the way, 4v5?
They actually got 2 towers. They got the tier 2 and the tier 3 towers.
Yeah, but they defended it 4v5, right? Obviously, Brew was down bottom pushing the entire time. So, I mean, obviously, that's great. They for what they don't have, we have a Blink Stun here on Kuroki. Do they have the gem? They still do have that gem on Solar. He's going to get shotgunned a little bit, not quite enough. Kuroki with that butterfly should be pretty hard to kill still. They're going to be going on him. They're just right-clicked on that guy like this is 5-year-old soccer league. They're just going after that ball, and I know that because that was me. They're just going to let him go, unfortunately for them. But as I was saying something... Oh, I think I was saying something, but I don't remember now. Damn action.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you were saying that it was a very good defense for VP overall. Only losing a tower, and they're 4 versus 5.
Yeah, what they don't have in a team fight in general is that they're, I mean, assuming Dread has his ult up, Darkseer, they're very good at turtling. It's hard to push on them. That much can be said. But as far as the actual team fight goes, not so strong. But they seem so far to be good at actually avoiding those straight up team fights outside of the racks and the towers. So they're doing good in that regard.
Yep. Looks like trying to go on the Darkseer down here, but the Darkseer will just be able to surge away, I imagine. Although, meanwhile, the Shadow Demon's actually getting caught by the Thanking and Korok, but he has a haste rune, so he's going to be just fine. Korok going to think about continuing on the Brood, but not going to happen. Yeah, earlier you were talking about maybe Korok having a stronger late game on Morph. I'm still not so certain about that, because you've got the Darkseer, who's actually going Aghanims, which is going to give them a lot of damage as well, on top of Gondar and Brood. We'll have to see. Anyway, there's going to be action at Roche here. Once again, xGosu, yeah, trying to steal it. And I'm not sure this is going to work any better than it did last time. Shadow Poison getting stacked up, but it's only level 2 Shadow Poison, so it's not going to do that much. The problem is Darkseer actually isn't here, so they're just going to take this. And they might have even been able to catch out NS as well, but happy just to take Roche regardless. And going to back up. Yeah, so, I don't know, it was just kind of Darkseer not being in position in time. And it was back in base after low HP and mana on bottom, and picked up his Aghanims there, and just kind of 15 seconds out. If he'd just been there a little bit sooner, they would have been able to turn that. But yeah, I guess well calculated this time by xGosu as opposed to last time where it was a bit of a mistake.
Yeah, that was very calculated indeed. It's good that you mentioned that. I mean, that was very ballsy if you didn't really take the calculations into account. I mean, I was scared the entire time that it was going to be a repeat of what happened last time, but obviously it didn't. So good for them. And now that we open up the gold graph, it is 5K, which honestly, 33 minutes in, 5K in favor of the Dire. Not that much. But obviously that's all from hero kills. It is 14 to 22, 34 minutes in. They are there's quite a big tower difference. So I mean, I think the goal difference would like again, it would be a lot more if they had more towers, but they're having a little bit of trouble getting towers. Again, they're set up like they were before though. I kind of like this. Brood's still down bottom, still trying to apply that pressure. They're not really pushing in Brood's lane, which would be pretty effective. And as well, Kuroki's up top, pressuring top as well. So both top and bottom being pressured while their mid gets pushed. And last time this worked for them well. And we do have the ult up and available by Dread. So if he can get another nice ult off, the thing is that we're gonna have to watch out for, like, is Korok, see if he can BKB before being vacuumed into that ult, because a lot of their damage is gonna come from using the illusion from Dread's ult on Korok. So here we're gonna go. Damage does come out. Let's see how soon he pops that BKB, if ever. Now they're just gonna get blown on relatively softly. And let's see what they can do. We're gonna have a go here. Ace is gonna walk in. He's not gonna get anything though. Unfortunately, he's gonna use that BKB. That could be pretty detrimental here. Let's see. Is there any blink? There's actually no blinks on like Tide or anybody. There's really no real good initiation for really just for Painted Gold. Oh, nicely done. Do they get Korok? I think they did get Korok. Korok's gonna go in it to the back. Aizen should be going down here quickly. Korok is just fine. He actually does pop his BKB. He's doing tons of damage. Disrupts himself. Not gonna be able to get the kill on Shadow Demon. Now he's gonna come back. Refocus his attention on Shadow Demon. A couple more hits. Oh, now he's chained down. He is indeed gonna go down. No, he's not. He's gonna come back actually. He has that Aegis, but it should not matter. He's very outnumbered here. We'll see if he can get out. He's silenced, and he's gonna go down as well. Great defense there. Even without that BKB on Aizen, they were able to hold that Dread's ult too strong. Oh, they're gonna take him down as well again. I believe is that a 5-man? I don't think Painted Gold got out, did he?
I don't imagine.
Either way, this game is pretty much going to be unwinnable at that point, to be completely honest. I mean, there's now just the goal difference is going to start to become insurmountable. They're going to get a tower here at the very least, if not the base tower. And then, I mean, after that push, as long as they don't push too far, as long as they don't overextend here, I feel like they should just have too much of a gold difference, and they're not playing poorly. I mean, they're not. Let's put it this way: they're not making mistakes. It doesn't seem like so. This is actually going to be a very difficult game here for XG to come back from.
Middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The problem is they've just committed so much to these pushes and haven't quite got when they've needed. They've gotten so close both times, getting racked like half health, but half health is just not enough. And now DP is going to have to counter push. Korok actually does have buyback money. And his buyback is ready, so they're looking to force this. He's really just hoping he can wait another 10 seconds. But honestly, I think that might be a little bit greedy. I think 10 seconds might just be a little bit too much, although we'll see. Actually, it looks like it's just barely going to be in time. He's going to have to TP, and right on top of them is the title. It's going to be up. Title actually isn't up for another 50 seconds. It's going to be a big problem for them. And the racks are already down, so I don't know. Maybe they just couldn't have defended it anyway without the title. Wow, Painted Gold missing everything with that ult. VP backed out just in time. Painted Gold ult doing absolutely nothing, and VP's just going to completely back off at this point. Happy to have gotten the racks, and I guess to waste a thinking ult.
Yeah, really good play there by Santa as well, actually. They almost could have gotten Santa, the Broodmother, but he timed it perfectly. He waited until his BKB was about to go down, then he turned around and he orchided. He silenced he silenced Painted Gold on Sand King, so he saved his own life there for sure. But yeah, that was a good, like I said, exactly what would happen, actually more than what I said would happen. They did get the melee racks as well, so this is really, really going to be tough for xGosu. Now, the goal difference, look at that. Goal difference almost 15k now, 37 minutes in. That went from like 5k to like 30-something minutes in to 15k, 38 minutes in. I mean, that is definitely a huge goal difference now. And let's go ahead and look at the items, actually, Harry, and see what kind of trouble XG is in.
Aghanim's actually up on the line, which is pretty unusual. It's kind of, I think most people see it as more of a pub item than anything. Pub lions clothes going Aghanims, and you just, oh god, really, bro? Like, you just want to cancel. I guess it's not quite as bad as going Dagon, but in this case, it really makes sense. Against that Leshrac, against that Enchantress, just the burst damage on those low HP heroes will just completely annihilate them, and it's actually a really nice pickup. Darkseer goes the Blink, which is also another really nice pickup. It can make his initiations that much stronger, allowing him to guarantee that he gets the vacuum ult off. I really like, actually, Blink up on Darkseer, especially when the other team doesn't know about it, which is what they're counting on here. They'll probably have him just basically, I would assume, farm the jungle and such until the next team fight kind of not get spotted. But actually, speaking of getting spotted, Santa might be in a little bit of trouble here. Looks like he is just going to run into the jungle and probably be fine. We'll have to see if they actually do come along here, if they consider going in after him. But they placed a sentry ward back there, but didn't catch anyone. Did all his webs disappear? What's going on? Where are all the... I guess I just can't see them. They're just kind of all over in different places. Anyway, they kind of know where he's at, but he's actually going to get the opportunity to come in from behind here, which could be really good, because Panic Ult's going to be trying to set up an ult, and if he can disable the Sand King as the Sand King tries going in for the ult, this could be a really decisive team fight for the Dire here. I'll have to see. Great vacuum ult from the Darkseer. Sand King actually is not going to be in a position yet, and the Brood is going on the Sand King. Sand King is not going to be able to get his ult off on anything. Meanwhile, Kuroki, lying, just destroys the Leshrac with his ult. Tide does finally get his ult off, but he while hitting a lot of heroes, he's not really in a position to do a lot about it, except for this Enchantress, who is doing a ton of damage with these impeti. Kuroki is actually going to go down, most likely to this combination from Korok and Panic Gold. So actually the team fight turned pretty well, but now Darkseer and Brood are coming back in and dishing out a lot of damage themselves, but meanwhile they really can't stand against Korok. Korok is going to deal too much damage. Unfortunately, they have no detection for this Brood. Brood actually orchiding up Panic Gold, thinking about going for him, but realizes he's just going to have to back off. Korok going to think about waveform here. Does waveform, is going to get a few hits off with the Scotty. We're just going to slow Santa. Does adapt to strike to finish Santa off. Broodmother insta buyback, going to be ready to defend, and there's really no way ex-GoSu can push in here with just 3 heroes, so Korok is going to TP back, or Panic Gold and Korok are both going to TP back mid to defend the base.
Yeah, couple things in that fight. Wow, that would have been such a different fight if Last Hit Magic on Enchantress would have just focused impetus one more time on Lion. Lion just needed one more impetus on the way out, and instead he chose a target of equal distance away, which obviously I'm implying that he could have hit Lion, at least I'm assuming, and it was Shadow Demon, and they both ended up being one impetus away from death, and that was absolutely huge. Obviously, Aizen with level 4 Hex and Earth Spike is going to be a huge force in team fights, and he indeed was. He came back and he stunned a couple more times in Hex, and that could have been the difference right there as well. And I'm not actually sure at the start, although it didn't really seem to have too much of an impact, that it seemed like Dread didn't quite get. It didn't seem like Morphling actually was hit by Dread's ult. At least I didn't see it. It didn't look like there was a morph image actually created there, and that would have been helpful as well. But either way, no push was even attempted there. Not much came from it except just from exchange of kills.
Yeah, the thing is, you were talking about, or saying that you didn't think xGosu, it's going to be very difficult for them to win this game. I'm not necessarily certain about that. I mean, like, I hate to kind of channel the inner Toby and say, well, all it takes is one good team fight, but for them, really, all it does take is one good team fight. Because, I mean, they've taken the tower in the mid and top. So literally, if they just manage to get one good team fight on the key point though is on VP's half of the map, then they can really just push in and basically just win the game, which is all they're going to need. And with a title, that's always a possibility. I mean, it's Tide's level 18, so it will be a max level title. Meanwhile, though, VP's not going to let that happen. They're going to take the fight to them. Darkseer going to blink in, but actually the ult's not going to get anything. He's just going to get Mikey. Mikey is definitely going to die. Wow. Getting annihilated. Oh, I'll let you take that.
Ult comes in there from Panic Gold, not doing a whole lot. BKBs are popped here for VP. Ult comes out on Solar, not doing a whole lot because of the BKBs. Korok is actually doing a ton of damage. He actually finishes his Manta and he's right-clicking everyone down. VP, Santa's going to go down as well, and they're going to do some more cleanup here. As you said, this fight is not on the side of VP. We'll see if that actually matters or not. He's going to go down for sure. NS goes down, and see if they can get a 5-man wipe. Actually, Panic Gold going to go down, not going to go complete 5-man wipe. Now Korok is going to go down. 5 for 2 exchange. And we'll see if they can get a tower or anything from this since they're so far away. At least looks like there's not back up here. They're pinging on Rosh. But overall, nice defense there. Nice fight. Oh, yeah. Never mind. I thought that the mid-racks went down just now, but that's been down for a while. So, but good hold there.
Yeah. I mean, VP, I guess, just getting a little over-aggressive there. But, I mean, at the same time, it makes sense. Like, you know, if fights are happening on the Radiant's half of the map, it doesn't really matter if the Radiant... Well, it does matter if the Radiant wins the fight, because look at the gold and experience advantage slightly from it. Right. But, I mean, they can't really do anything with it. You know, with the lanes pushed out like this, all they can do is just go back and farm up and defend, which gives them, you know, some more space to breathe. And actually, if Roche had been up, that would have been really bad. But fortunately, Roche was not up, which actually, Roche respawned just at the right time, which is probably, I mean, to be perfectly honest, calculated by VP as well. They probably considered how much time they had until Roche, and that they might have enough time, even if they lost the fight, to get back to Roche in time. But we'll have to see, actually, because xGosu is actually going to go for the Roche steal as quickly as possible here. Korok coming in and trying to deal out as much damage as he can. Does have Manta, BKB, and I have Scotty now. And he's doing a lot of damage, morphing basically all his, or actually not basically, all of his strength into agility. Darkseer is going to go for a Blink Vacuum ult here, and we'll see if he actually manages to get off. Throws out the wall, blinks, and there's the vacuum, but it's not actually going to pull anyone into the wall. Really misplayed there by Dread. there are basically two options in a situation like that. One is that you try vacuuming heroes up on the cliff. Two is that you vacuum them all into the wall. But he kind of went in between both. He was like, yeah, if I put the wall right there, maybe, you know, but no, like, just be decisive. Throw the wall in the center, vacuum them all into the center, or vacuum them up on the side of the hill. But he did neither of those, and he really just missed a good opportunity.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I completely agree with what you're saying. I mean, there's so much you can do in that position as a Darkseer. That vacuum AoE is rather large, and if you pull them up onto that ledge, I mean, a lot of them don't have any way of getting out there, so they could potentially just be sitting there with their illusions, and in fact be so constrained on top of the Dread ult that they could just continually be respawning and sitting in their own illusions and dying that way. There's definitely kind of like a best case scenario that could have gone, but I mean, there's also a worst case scenario, and that was pretty much that for Dread. What?
Oh, nothing. I was just going to say, take a look at Kuroki's items, actually. He has Abyssal now. I guess I missed that. He probably had that for a little while ago. We've actually been meaning to look at items for a while, but keep getting interrupted by action. But yeah, Abyssal Blade on him, that's going to make it really easy for him to lock down that Morphling. You right there?
I have no water. Yes, but I'm okay. I'll be okay.
But yeah, and meanwhile, Santa almost finished the butterfly himself, so going double butterfly against that Scotty, just trying to avoid getting right-click down and constantly slowed. Other than that, not really any big item pickups for the Dire. For the Radiant, meanwhile, though, no, they really haven't gotten anything in a while. Mikey did go Ghost Scepter, but Ghost Scepter actually hasn't been that effective against the Lion, basically.
All right.
One-shots him.
Well, this could be bad. They're doing exactly what they need to do. They're pushing in their lane that's already been pushed. The Rax is down. They've almost actually come back from their gold deficit. Karak gonna get chained. Let's see if anything happens. No, this is not. A lot of damage actually dealing towards Karak now because of his illusions. They're gonna go down. Ult comes in there from Solari, grabs a couple. They're gonna focus on Karak and Santa, Kuroki and Santa, excuse me. Ult comes out there from Dread. Not a whole lot of illusions just yet. Karak is about to go down. He needs to pop that cheese, and he does. He's not full health yet, but he's getting DPS down so fast. I don't even know what was DPSing him down so hard. But either way, no, he's not down yet though. He's actually still up. Kuroki's Kuroki does so much damage, it's ridiculous. Oh, but he's gonna turn around now. Kuroki needs to get a big crit on somebody. He needs to focus somebody down. Whole bunch of low health there from xG. Indeed, only one person is down for xG, just Lesh, which is important and everything. But it doesn't really matter if 3 are down for VP and only one is down for xG. So they got the equalized Rax right there. That melee Rax is down. They're actually gonna go for the advantage here and take the range Rax as well. Dread is not going to be able to do anything about this, unfortunately. Last Hit Magic is going to heal up. And they're actually going to go for top. The tower's actually down for top as well. What an opportunistic move here. Then they grab this melee as well. 3 still down. Any buybacks? No buyback, no buyback, no buybacks available. So they're going to get this and have the advantage after this. Probably going to get away as soon as they can. After this melee Rax goes down, Painted Gold is going to try and do what he can. This is very important for them to get. They need to do everything they can to try and get it. A couple more hits. Oh, yeah, there's just not enough. It's almost a mistake to try and defend that, but that's honestly, this is probably insurmountable now for VP. This one is going to go down here for sure. He's going to come in there, might just turn around and go on this potentially. Oh my gosh, the ult comes down. How was that not enough? Oh my gosh, that was an Agdam's level 16 ult on Painted Gold. He didn't have any magic resistance. Maybe he had pipe. Did he have pipe on him? Must have pipe on him.
No pipe. His Vanguard.
Wow, that was. Well, yeah.
And Ultimate Orb, which is just a lot of health.
Yeah, he just had a lot of health. But either way, that's 3 racks down, 2 melee racks down, and that's gonna be really difficult for them to push out. They don't have the greatest push. They've got Brood. They've been doing what they can do, but they don't even really have a great way to push against lanes.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, all it took is one team fight for the Radiant to completely turn this game around, which is exactly what they did. And one good team fight on the Dire's half of the map, like I said, which is exactly what happened. The biggest problem is, to be honest, Kuroki just doesn't have BKB, which he really needs. Like, I understand he opted for not going for it because Morphling went for Scotty, which is going to slow him down even if he has BKB. And look at Morphling, actually. He has a Reaver plus an Eagle Song in his career. He's actually just going to stack 25 strength, or 25 stat items. Wonder if he's actually going to buy a Mystic Staff after this just to complete the trifecta. Probably not. But he's going to have, Heart, Butterfly, basically out of nowhere. Let's see which one he decides to go. And actually, yeah, there is a Mystic Staff on the courier along with the Void Stone, but unfortunately that's not going to be for him. But yeah, so I don't know, Kuroki without BKB, which first of all, BKB is like one of the most core items to get against Tide. Like whenever you're playing against Tide as a carry, you absolutely have to get BKB. And then against Leshrac as well, who does a ton of AoE damage, and the Sand King, like there's just so much, but it's all because of that Scotty on Korok that he's afraid to have gone BKB because he figures he's just going to get slowed and be ineffective anyway, so he's kind of gone burst and evasion item instead. But just without BKB, it just doesn't do anything. Like in that fight, he basically died right away, fought back, did a fair amount of damage, and just died again. I don't know. It's just pretty rough. And he's really going to need that BKB in the next fight if they're going to want to have a chance. That or they can't fight 5-on-5 like that if he's not going to have it. Otherwise, it's just going to be too tough for him. BKB too important of a team fight item.
Yeah, that is pretty much the weakness of melee carries in general, melee DPS. If you get kited, which obviously he's worried about, or if you get disabled and you're out of position, which is essentially still getting kited, then you're ineffective, and he wasn't able to focus down a target that he wanted to. Lots, like I was mentioning during the fight, lots of low HP heroes on xGosu, but he was unable to finish off the kills because he is melee, and I mean that is a huge weakness, especially in the current I guess push staff or force staff metagame. It's almost worse for melee carries than it used to be. But it's very important, like you said. I completely agree. He needs to get that BKB. He's got 1,500 gold. He does a ton of damage, and he can stun somebody, and he can sit next to them. But without a BKB, he's not going to be disabled. I mean, he's going to get disabled, and he's not going to be able to do anything. So we'll see. Well, I think as soon as you get to BKB, it'll be a little bit different of a team fight. But at this point, you mentioned the items on Morph. I mean, Morph is about to be 5 stacked with items here shortly, and that is going to be really hard to kill a Morph with 5 stacks. And with those Manta images, that's a really tough fight to win.
Yeah, obviously Manta, one of the most ideal items on Morphling, because, I mean, for those that don't know, a lot of people think Manta actually does more damage, it gives more damage than it does. But Manta actually, the damage the illusions do is only based on base damage, which does include, like, the plus number, basically. But Morphling, because he can morph agility, can increase his base damage to tremendous heights, in this case 270. So those Manta illusions do an insane amount of damage. And yeah, he did get the Satanic, actually. I don't know why I said hard, I just really wasn't used to seeing Reaver into hard because of anti-mage. But yeah, obviously Morphling with Satanic Scotty is going to basically be able to turn and fight on essentially anyone, even when he's not hiding them. And then soon enough with the Butterfly as well, he's just going to be basically impossible to deal with. Especially since he has the BKB, which is going to prevent the Lion from disabling him that much. I don't know. It's going to take a lot of good luck to turn this one around, and it's going to all start with a really good initiation from Dread. That's what's going to possibly turn it around. And they're actually being really smart there. Here, they're waiting outside their base to try to catch them, rather than where the Radiant know they'll fight. But the problem is Kuroki's not there, and you can see the pings actually coming out. Really kind of poor play by Kuroki here, not being there in time, because they'd been able to start that fight on their own terms in front of the base, rather than inside the base. It would have been a lot better for them. Anyway, Tide gonna blink in, gets a huge Ravage on 4 heroes. Impetus gonna come out, Dread already dead, or NS already dead. Double Ravage, Refresher out for Tide. The Darkseer ult comes out, but it's really not doing anything. Meanwhile, Kuroki is in the background doing a fair amount of damage to Last Night Magic, but it's just not enough. His entire team is getting demolished. But Lion actually has managed to take down 2. Wow. And the problem is they kept running back and forth through this illusion wall and actually making a lot of illusions. Kuroki trying to finish off Last Hit Magic. Last Hit Magic Ghost Scepters, but Dread does finish him off with a vacuum. The problem is Kurok has just been sitting here through all of this and doing a ton of damage to everyone. He's going to wait for him after Asin does Ghost Scepter just in time, and Adaptive Strike was not up for Korok. Meanwhile, Kuroki is actually getting surged after Korok here. It's going to try to hunt him down. I'm not sure, did he actually have to buy back? I don't remember if he died with the Abyssal Blade. He actually does manage to take down Korok. Korok does have the Aegis, is coming back up, and meanwhile Flora is coming to help him. But Flora, without any ult, isn't going to be able to do much, and VP does manage to hold that fight. I really didn't think it was going to work out for them in the beginning there, but I guess they had some buybacks, or I don't know, just basically what I was talking about. The Darkseer wall didn't really hit anyone originally, but then ex-GoSu kind of just overextended and went through the wall a couple times and allowed illusions to build up and actually deal damage to them.
Yeah. Yeah, it did force a buyback there from Kuroki. Something worth mentioning, though, is that unfortunately, the double ult there from Solara didn't really chain. You know what I mean? Like, he ulted, and then several people got their BKBs off, and then he ulted again. It was much less effective than if he would have ulted, maybe gotten one spell off and quickly ulted again. That could have been honestly the difference maker there. To be completely honest, I mean, did Lion even die that fight? I mean, I'm not sure, but I really feel like Lion would have actually been able to been killed if he had been ulted twice, potentially. I mean, obviously, he wasn't killed that fight, and that was a huge problem because he was, Lion, like I keep saying, all those CCs are just absolutely huge against a Morphless. Who's a Morphless? I'm not sure. Morphling. But yeah, so I mean, slight misplays here and there. Nothing too dramatic. I mean, you can't discount the fact that he got a huge ult off to begin with. He got 4 people. The only real problem is that his team was a little bit lagging behind, so that's really why he needed to land that second ult to give more time for his team to come in and burst down the rest of the people and chain the rest of the stuns. So we're gonna have a blink with Sheepstick. Is that a Sheepstick on? As a Sheepstick on Sand King. And this Rush is up. We'll see. This is going to be a huge determiner here. We'll see how this goes. Obviously, Shadow Demon's throwing the poison out and doing as much as he can, trying to proc those blinks, prevent them from getting blinks out. Watch for Panic Gold to do a big initiation. They're actually going to go. Dread cut out by himself. Oh, this is absolutely huge. He goes down. No ult there from Dread. They are going to at least
Dread is the buyback,
and they are going to kill. They are going to kill Last Hit Magic. Last Hit Magic did buyback as well, so they're both on their way back. Dread's going to get there a lot faster, though. There goes a double ult there. Beautifully done. Lion not going to live through that one this time. Dread does get his ult out, and it is a great ult, but he's the only one alive. And that's unfortunate for them. He gets picked out. He does buy back, but he's unable to have an impact in that fight for the entire time where he's running back there. That was just absolutely pivotal. And a misplay as far as positioning goes there from Dread.
Honestly, that's going to be a good game. There aren't buybacks for most of the Dire here. Actually, for any of the Dire, they can't buy back, and the Radiant are going to come in here and take this game. There are 2 things, that really determined that fight. One was obviously the Dread pick-off, and the other was Kuroki not having his BKB. If he'd had his BKB, he was standing right in there. He was doing a ton of damage, but then the Tide Ravages came out, and he just got chain CC'd. If he'd had BKB there, it would have been completely different. He was doing so much damage, he would have really been able to DPS a ton through that Tide ult and maybe take down a couple heroes. It still probably wouldn't have turned in their favor because of Dread getting picked off, but it's tough to say. Regardless, I really just don't like his decision not to get the BKB here, or not to have gone the BKB a little bit earlier. But whatever. I think Kuroki is a really good player, and I can't question him too much. So I'm sure he had his reasons, like I said, which were most likely probably the Morphling Scotty. Regardless, amazing play from Tora. Sorry, what were you saying?
Let's take a look at this bracket and see if we got the next. No,
we're done for the night.
No. Oh, we're done? Okay.
Yeah. The semifinals and finals are tomorrow. So anyway, everyone, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching us. We had a lot of fun. Really nice play from both teams here. This was a great game to watch, to commentate, and to spectate. Thanks again to our sponsors, Fnatic, Raidcall, I always forget. Ezio is the 4th one, but I cannot remember what the 3rd one is. Fnatic, Raidcall, I think MSI, No. Fnatic, Raidcall, MSI, SteelSeries, and Ezio. Thank you to all those sponsors. Thank you to Fnatic for hosting this tournament for us. Thank you to the teams who had an amazing game and were a lot of fun to watch here. And regardless, we will be back casting tomorrow at 7 CET for the semifinals and